Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us. My name is Debbie and I'm on the creative design team at Sizzix. And are you ready to create a fun project with Eileen's new field notes and specimen card? This is a little album I've created with our ScoreBoard die that Eileen designed. It has the binding so you can do a little photo book, scrapbook album, whatever you decide to create. I'm going to show you just a quick way to do the pages on the inside, but most importantly, how to assemble it. I've also used her new Thinlit die set that's a folder, an envelope, and little flowers, just to create fun little embellishment on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera overhead so we can get started.
So with a combination of these two die sets, one Thinlit set, and this one is called Envelope Folder, you have all these cute little Thinlits, a couple of them are framelits, that you can do to create whether it's going to be embellishments inside of your little album, inside of a card, or just a little gift card or gift enclosure to add to a gift. These are so cute. It's 11 Thinlits in one die set. This little envelope is such a cute little size, and tuck in some little sentiments or some little embellishments. The flower or the hearts, it's such a cute little add-on that you would love to have to include with any of your projects. And then the field notes and specimen card. This is obviously a Biggs scoreboard die. It's an XL, which means you need the XL cutting plates, as well as mat board, chipboard, any of the heavier material, because Eileen's dies, as you know, they cut and they score on such a heavy material. So the blade itself is long for cutting and obviously sharp, but the areas that need to score, it's a shorter blade. It's sharp, but not sharp enough to cut through. So the part that needs to be cut is along the outside, and then the part that needs to be scored is on the inside, except for here, this will cut out a little frame. So this is a great die, perfect for any of your heavier materials that you want to cut. So you can see the areas here. Hopefully you can see it with the little holes. These are going to punch out the holes so you can do the thread through a little binding in your little album, whether you're going to make it as a card or a little photo book. And that's what I'm going to share with you today on how to assemble this die set using our mat board and our opulent ivory or opulent shiny glossy mirror finish of our opulent cardstock. So this is a cute little book that I made. A friend of mine's daughter's getting married, so I thought I'd be using her little picture. I think it's the cutest die set. Fabulous family words is what I used here. Now, what I did is I cut the word husband 2 times because this die set doesn't have the word and. So I thought, darn it, I don't want to cut apart little letters just to put the word and. So I cut the word husband twice, and on one of them, I cut the HUSB off and did the and for the word and. And then I also used the flowers that are included in the envelope flower set. So let me go ahead and show you how to assemble this little booklet. And just depending on how you want to tie your pages in, I just threw in a couple little things so you can just see what you could do. But look how cute that little envelope is. Love, love, love that size. Look at it. It's just a little tiny thing. Okay, so let me move all of this off to the side. So like I said, you need to have the XL cutting pads. These are the cutting pads that will cover the area of the blade that you need to have for cutting, because you need your even pressure throughout the whole thing, as you know, since you are avid Sizzix die cutters, right? So I'm going to take my cardstock. Now, what I've done here is I've taken our mat board or our media board. This is the shiny, that's what I chose. You could use obviously any kind of material you want. Our texture rolls work great too. So this is the mirror finish of the ivory. You can see it's kind of very, very glossy. So you want to have the good side of the paper against the blade. When I say good side, this is the side that you want to have for cutting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay it down there on there. If I did it all the way up there, I'm going to lose this portion. So I'm going to do that part later. So this one, I only need this piece here. Okay. And I need two of these and just one of the other set. Well, it depends on what you want, but to cut that actual album, you do need 2 of the album side for the front cover and the back cover. I'm gonna run it through. It's a little thick where there's no paper, so I'm gonna back it back up. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep going. That was a straight edge, so you want to make sure that's cut. Clean that off. So you can see it popped out the holes and it's scored where it needs to be scored. I got a little bit of the black from the foam on there, but that's okay. Just use my die brush and brush that off. Good as good. Good as new. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it one more time, but let me clean out my little areas here because sometimes these pieces get embedded into those little screws and you want to make sure you clean them out because if they fill up, then this one particularly won't because you see the little stud in there, but it won't cut if you have too many pieces still in there. So like I said, I need 2 of these. Beautiful cut. Pop out those little pieces again. I've got 2 ready to go. Now I need to do one more just for the area that has the little frame on there. So this is a piece of adhesive backed, the same mirror, opulent cardstock. I'm just going to put a portion of it onto here just for that one area. Trim that down because I want to have that little frame that I had left off to the side and didn't cut yet. This little portion right here. So there's a little band here that you can use to put their date, their last name, and then there's also this little frame area. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cardstock over that area. Let me do it this way because I don't think we use that band part. Run it through. Oops. I didn't have to double cut it. I just did it because it's a shorter distance. I didn't have to run it through since I wasn't going to do the other area anymore. Okay, so I've got that piece there that I'm not going to use. I have this little frame area. You could put brads in there. You could thread a ribbon through it. And this is the fallout piece for this. I'm not going to use it, but you can always, hang on to your trash, right? That's what us crafters do. My husband wonders why I hang on to all my stuff. Because I never know when I'm going to need it. Okay, now I'm going to just do a few little pieces of the embellishments. The flower, I already cut out the husband and wife part, so you don't need to watch me do that since I just pretty much want to show you how to assemble all this. But just to show you that you can do multiple pieces at a time when you're cutting. Okay, so more of the white cardstock for my flowers. White cardstock. I'm going to do my leaves. Actually, I don't need this big of a piece. And then I have the shadow of the leaf, so I'm going to do that next. Since I need that leaf 2 times. This is perfect if you're the area with the, even though it's 6 inches, you're able to cut multiple pieces as long as they're all thinlets all at the same time because they're all going to fit and they're all thinlets, so you don't need any added pressure by using an extra platform on there. So that's the beauty of being able to put the multiple pieces on there because then you're able to do something like I was going to say, spell out somebody's name if you have the full alphabet and you're doing each letter individually. So I got my flowers cut. Those. I've got my center for the flowers. Now these all have the adhesive back, so I could use an adhesive, a wet adhesive or express glue, but since I already have the adhesive backing, I don't need it. And then I got my leaves. Came out. Use my die pick and poke holes to get those out. Put those off to the side. Now I want to also do the leaves in the gold because I did that little shadow idea around the kind of a border. Not a border, but it looks like a border, but that's what I use for the leaves. I just cut them twice in the two colors. Okay, so that is done. I believe my machine. I'm finished with you. So I'm going to put you off to the side. Now, since this is called a specimen card, it kind of reminds me when I hear that, not just of specimens at the doctor's office, but specimens like seed specimens. So this would be a cute little book to have to like log in your things that you're planted in the garden. And I think people do that, right? Anyway, so I am going to show you how to assemble it. So like I said, it cuts and scores at the same time. So you see these perfect score lines. That little piece of fuzz out. I'm just going to bend it down on every area. Just so it'll be ready to be manipulated when it's open and closed multiple times. And then to add added strength to your binding, since it's going to be used frequently, I'm going to line these up exactly over the one over it, just to reinforce the strength of the binding. So before I do that, I'm going to take my I can't think of the word. Double-sided adhesive. I'm going to use this side, this width, and I'm going to go ahead and layer it. Just want to see where the holes are because I don't want it to be in the binding part. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be a problem. I'm just going to put it down in between all areas, in between the little holes. This is not tedious, but this is the part that takes the longest. All of those adhesive backs were well behaved. I didn't have to like dig them out. Okay, so since this is the side here, get all this little foam that's stuck in there. It doesn't ruin the die, it just has little pieces since it's a brand new die. Okay, since this is the side with adhesive back, I'm going to line up those holes perfectly. Make sure they're matched up before I really bear down. Because once this double-sided adhesive, since it's so strong, is down, it is down. And there we have it. So it's exact same die. Die cut, the front and back cut, so you know they're going to match up exactly. The only reason they wouldn't is if, well, it still should if you did a mirror image by accident and put the wrong side against the paper, but I believe this is kind of a uniform shape all the way around. But see how much stronger it is with the two back to back. Okay, so next I'm going to just show you really quickly how to thread the little pages in. So what I did is I laid my paper, fold it in half, decide on what size you want. I think this is 11 by 4 3/4 maybe. No, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I laid this folded on top of here, just kind of figured out where it was position wise so the holes will match up. It's in the center, and I took a die pick and I just poked it right in to the hole, so I know that they're centered and spaced out exactly as the binding is. And then since I probably need it to be a little bit wider, hopefully that's wide enough for my cord that I have here. Lay it in there like that. I'm just going to do, yeah, that's wide enough. So just have 2 holes, thread it through, and then you thread it through the corresponding hole, so that's the bottom. And I don't mind it being like this. You could thread it horizontally, but this doesn't bother me and it's easier to do on camera. So I'm going to do it that way and thread it this way. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing this. This is the quickest and way that I do often. So tie that in a knot. If I can find the end. This is elastic, so hopefully it's not going to snap on me. Perfect. Snip and snip. Then I have another one that I had done before, just so it'll bulk it up a little bit. What else do I could put another one in the center, but I'm not. So I'm going to thread that one through just to even it out. The bottom of this one. So you can see that. Bring it through this side. Oh, look at that. Thread right through without me having to guide it. Snip it. And there is this cute little album. So let me just do a little bit of fun embellishments in there. So that little panel that I'd already cut, little frame, I'm going to put another picture of them in there that way. And I'm just going to get my double-sided tape and just put a little bit on the interior because I know that's where it's going to stick. Okay, so that's ready. That's all set. Now I kind of want it to be popped up a little bit. So I'm going to put some foam tape on my roll of foam tape. I'm going to put that on the back side of here. And I like a little thickness. I just realized I think there's adhesive backing on this card and this back of the photo. So let me peel a little bit of it off. Otherwise my foam tape won't stick. Maybe not. Maybe it just has a shiny coating. Yeah, it does. Okay. I used a scrap piece of paper, didn't realize there was foam tape already. I mean, there was adhesive back on it already. Okay, let me peel the backing off of there. This foam tape is so nice and thick, but once it's down, it is down. I actually like to double it up, so I might make it a little bit higher. I like things nice and thick, just like snowman. I love them nice and fat and chubby. Okay, let me just do just a couple pieces just to add a little more height. I'm tucking the flower underneath, I mean the leaf, and the flower is going to be on top of it, so it doesn't have to be exactly even. Height-wise, I mean. So that's why this looks kind of wonky. Center that there on there like that. Now for the leaves, I'm going to put a little puddle of glue because I want to back this leaf with the gold. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there. And just match it up just slightly off a little bit so you can have a little bit of almost like a shadow. I'll do the same thing with the bigger one. The bigger leaf will go with the bigger flower, obviously. Just off, just a tad. Okay, now I'm going to add the center to the flowers. Each flower has the corresponding center, so I already put an adhesive back on these. So that's going to stick to the little one. It's going to stick to the bigger one. Put a little adhesive backing on that. I mean, there was adhesive backing on that, so that's good to go. And I also want to put some foam tape. So I'm going to double this up. So I'm just going to fold my foam tape in half. I like when the scissor doesn't cut the foam tape on the foam. I like when it cuts a backing. Sometimes I'll back it with just some backing, just so the scissors don't get all sticky and icky. Okay, so I'm going to position my foam tape there. Now I'm not going to stick this down yet because I want to make sure I have the area of where I want to put the husband and wife part. So let me go ahead and stick this one down. Piece of foam tape on there. This one I can go ahead and adhere down now. I'm just going to cover up those holes because I didn't want to do any kind of brads or anything. So cover up those holes on there. Now I took the word husband, already has an adhesive backing, so I'm going to go ahead and lay that down there on that. It's such a thin die set that you want to make sure that you don't stick it down right away, because you want to stick it down and just kind of maneuver it around just to make sure that when you pulled it away after you die cut it, you didn't bend any letters into a funky, distorted shape. It already has adhesive on there, so that is ready. And here's the part that I cut off. There's the and. Lay that down there like that. And there she is, his lovely wife. Okay, now this one's ready to go. Here's the flower. And I kind of want it to be up a little bit, so that's why, well, actually I'm going to do that a little bit thicker, just because I want it to be higher than the frame, and the frame's already high. And then same with the leaf, I want it to be a little bit lifted. It's partially on the frame and partially hanging off. It's not sticking here. There we go. How cute is this? Oh my gosh, I love this. I kind of want to make one for myself, even though I'm not a husband and a wife. I'm just the wife. But I love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is so fun. Maybe if one of our vacations that my husband and I took, or one of my girls, our girls. I love this. So just fill it up, embellish it with all sorts of fun things. That little envelope that I had on the other one. I don't want to lift it up because I'll tear the pages, but look at how cute and tiny this is. I just added the little, you could put a little message. This could be something that you could have at a bridal shower or a birthday party, and just have all the guests sign a little note inside of there, and then give them all little envelopes, and they can do a page at the party. Love it. How fun is that? So this is the new Eileen Hull, Chapter 3, Field Notes and Specimen card, and her envelope, folder, and flowers. It's a great little project. No matter what color you use, I'm sure it's going to turn out perfectly.